A tense calm returning to the Thailand-Cambodia border with a ceasefire that put an end to 5 days of fighting appearing to hold up. Military commanders from Thailand and Cambodia meeting today, reaffirming their commitment to maintaining that ceasefire. The Thai army says both sides agreed to halt troop movements, avoid escalation and set up delegations ahead of a joint border committee meeting next Monday. Cambodian officials confirming the same while also highlighting the need for international observers to monitor this ceasefire. Just this morning, the Thai military accused Cambodian troops of violating that ceasefire in several locations. Phnom Penh denying those allegations, stressing that their troops have abided by the truce. And for more, let's bring in CNA's Saksith Saiyasombut reporting live from the Thai capital Bangkok, and Leong Wai Kit, he's standing by in Samroang town in Cambodia's Oda Mente province. Saksith, let's start with you in Bangkok. Ceasefire early stages yet, military commanders, both sides at least seeming committed to... we've lost Saksith for the moment. Let's bring in Wai Kit very quickly. Thailand, in the early hours of the ceasefire, claiming that Cambodian troops had broken that very tenuous ceasefire. Cambodia reacting to that by saying that is not the case. They have abided by that truce and are abiding to that truce right now. What else has Phnom Penh said in reaction to allegations from the Thai side?
Well, Wei Su, you said it. The summary is that the position of the Cambodian Defense Ministry is very clear. It firmly rejects these accusations by the Thai side, and that, as you said also earlier, Wei Su, that it is committed to the truce, to this ceasefire. In fact, I spent a large part of my morning and day talking randomly to villagers here. We're about some 20 kilometers away from the active fighting, and many of them tell me that since 12 a.m., there has been no sounds of fighting. In the last 5 days, they will hear very, very regularly large sounds of shelling and bomb blasts. But for the last couple of hours from 12 a.m. till now, there is no such sounds. Now, earlier in our program, we also spoke with a Cambodian assemblyman. Let's take a listen to what he said about the truce.
But this is a long, this is a positive step, but we still have to move forward on that. And also other terms, we also agree on that, including, the two armies have a good change communication and opinion.
All right. We heard from Wai Kit there, Saksith, Cambodia's reaction to Thai allegations of Cambodia breaking that very fragile ceasefire. Thailand's position on this allegation of breaking of that ceasefire, it is tenuous. It is not even 24 hours old. There are challenges ahead because the root cause of this dispute, this ceasefire does not, in fact, pretend to address.
Yes, indeed. There are many underlying issues that both countries need to figure out going forward. The most important thing that both countries are trying to address here is to actually maintain the ceasefire on both sides of the border. We have heard of sporadic skirmishes on both sides of the border 12 hours ago and also in the night leading up to these meetings between the military commanders. But we're also hearing a few sporadic skirmishes still ongoing throughout the course of the day. So it is a fragile truce. It is a very delicate situation that both armies still are now they have to now to navigate through there. But it's also more important now going forward to solidify it. What does it mean? There will be a meeting between the defense ministers next week on Monday in Cambodia. Also, mind you, Thailand currently does not have a defense minister. They will be likely represented by their deputy. And then further down the line, of course, there are still underlying issues, especially the demarcation of the border itself, where they're running, especially in the disputed places, not only the ancient temples, but also in many other places along the 800 kilometers that need some mediation, maybe some arbitrations at the International Court of Justice that Cambodia is seeking, and that exactly Thailand is trying to avoid there. So this is still the very beginning. This is the very first day of hopefully a very long-lasting ceasefire there.
All right. And that, given perhaps the uncertainty that residents along the border, the confirmed number is about 260,000 on both sides displaced because of fighting between Thailand and Cambodia. There's still uncertainty about what might lie ahead, and so uncertainty about whether they should actually be able to return home safely from these residents.
And that uncertainty is still missing there. We have seen an order by the Interior Ministry telling people that are still in evacuation centers to stay put for now, saying that it is not safe for them to return and to wait for a signal and for a sign by authorities until it is clear to go home there. Because, as I said, in the past 24 hours since the agreement of the ceasefire, and also since midnight last night, since the ceasefire, there has still been sporadic skirmishes there. So it's not entirely safe at all for people to be very close to the border, and that is still the situation that we are dealing with right now. And also, of course, there's also the rebuilding phase. First of all, the physical rebuilding phase. The Thai finance minister today went to the press and was quoting and said that the damages from these wars and the economic impact could be as high as $308 million, which is a surprisingly very high number. But of course, there's also the emotional damage and also the emotional victimization that still needs to be addressed as well. Of course, there's also the loss of lives that still needs to be addressed, and also the underlying issues on both sides of the border where we have seen nationalistic sentiments being whipped up into a frenzy there. So this is what I'm saying, that this is not only about a ceasefire, this is not only about truce, but also not only where the borderlines are going, but also mending the sources of the disputes that will take a very long time.
All right, Wai Kit, hearing Saksith giving the Thai side, both at, I suppose, leader level, needing to look at underlying causes, and of course, uncertainty at the level of residents who have been forced to flee because of the fight. Now, you are in Cambodia, in Oda Mente province, which has not just seen fighting, but has also seen many evacuees taking shelter in this province. Are residents there preparing at all? Do you see a large-scale movement to return to their homes?
Well, not yet large-scale, Wei Su, but we are seeing signs. I intentionally chose this location because behind me, it's a major road intersection that's a roundabout, and I'm told that all 4 roads there lead to the border areas where there is violence. Now, in the last 5 days, the roads here have been silent. The only vehicles are security vehicles or vehicles ferrying journalists. Now you can see there's a tuk-tuk, there's a motorbike, and life is now slowly returning to this part of the town. I earlier spoke to one woman who had closed her shop because she was afraid of the fighting. She learned about the truce, she learned about the ceasefire. She's now back and she's opened up her shop. Earlier, I was just talking to Otelli Edwards about how I bumped into 2 brothers, one 16, one 8 years old. Because of the truce, the family of 8, including the grandparents, returned to this part of the town, and they were cycling with such carefree feeling. Now, that's what's happening on the ground. On the bigger level, the authorities are now preparing to clear potential landmines in the border areas before allowing people to return to their homes. And I'm also told that there will be a diplomatic tour happening tomorrow. And these are the members of the diplomatic corps who will be invited to the border areas to have a look for themselves to see how it has been destroyed in those areas. My understanding is Malaysia as well as Indonesia will have representatives.
Our CNN Saksith Saiyasombut in Bangkok and Leong Wai Kit in Samroang town in Cambodia's Oda Mente province, looking at both the larger issues behind this dispute, currently on a less than a day-old ceasefire, and of course the effect of that on people on the ground.